Hey everyone, welcome to the NintendoFuse Podcast. This is episode 330, recorded on January 27th, 2026. And we're here to talk about this brand new Super Mario Galaxy trailer and direct that happened, Virtual Boy information, some other rumors that are happening. Maybe or not, we'll see some other directs really soon. We've got Life is Strange information in the Donkey Kong Country HD Returns HD, get that right, and lots of other news to talk about in addition to what games we've been playing. But maybe you're new and you're like, who are these people? Who are these people who are talking to us about video games? My name is Steve, and so glad that you guys are here. I'm also joined by Barry and Greg. Barry, how you doing?
Hey everybody, it's good to be back. I'm feeling better than last week or last 2 weeks. Still have a nagging cough, so if I don't mute in time, I do apologize. I will do my best to make sure that doesn't come out there. But yeah, I'm trying to stay warm too. We're getting blasted out here in the Northeast. Over a foot
Yeah.
of snow and we potential another storm this weekend. Not happy about it.
Wow. Yeah. I have lots of friends in the Northeast, and yeah, I keep seeing photos of piles of snow that are dropping on them, and not so much here in Colorado, at least where I am. Other parts of Colorado are finally getting it, which is great. But I think we got maybe an inch and a half. So it's nowhere near what other people got. Uh, Greg, are you
Your time was due. Don't worry.
yeah. Greg, you staying out of the cold, or are you guys freezing there in Chicago?
We've actually been pretty cold. So my daughter's school was canceled last Friday because it got to like minus 30 degrees outside with the wind chills and stuff. So like they had
Wow.
um, please do not come to school. We also are not doing e-learning, so just enjoy the day off. And so she had a lot of fun just be able to play on like her iPad and stuff for most of the day. So um,
Wow.
we don't have tons of snow. We got like 3 or 4 inches or something that came on the ground, or like I think that either the day or two before that or even like a day or so after, but nothing like Barry, I guess, if he's got over a foot of snow and got like a whole nor'easter effect going on over there or whatever. But
Wow.
yeah, it's been very cold, but it's now back above zero, thankfully, as of like the last few days here. So yeah, it was definitely had a very cold weekend there where it was you don't even want to step outside for more than 10 minutes without getting frostbite.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Also, a huge shout out to our live chat. We got some people joining us, which is always awesome. So, hi to Sparks F1. It's in the chat and already talking. If you're in the live chat, be sure to say hi and also chime in with all the different news that we talk about. It's a great way to just interact with us throughout the episode, and we love hearing from you guys. You're kind of like collectively the fourth person of this podcast, and so we love interacting with you guys. So be sure to do that as much as you can, and of course, say hi. Sparks is new to our Discord as well. I believe he joined because of one of our videos, was the Boulder Dash review,
Yeah.
I think, that we did. And then we've had another one that because of the Macross review that we did, that game chat. So huge shout out to all you guys who are kind of finding us in some different ways, which is really cool. And if you enjoy talking about video games, we do that on a regular basis here on our channel. So be sure to subscribe, but also hop over in our Discord and join us on social media. We enjoy interacting with you guys more than just posting our content, which is great. But when you find us, we'd love for you guys to jump in our community on Discord and join the conversation, because we just love interacting with you guys. So shout out to you guys that are new to our community, and hopefully we see more and more of you guys. Speaking of which, I believe the last episode we talked about how we are wanting to start a why am I blanking on the name of it right now? A Patreon.
Patreon.
Yeah, really soon. So people have kind of been asked about supporting us, which is awesome. And we were like, hey, maybe it's time to finally do that. So this year we're setting our goals on Patreon. However, we want to make sure that is something that you enjoy doing and you want to do it. And so on Patreon, you can support people just by doing that if you want. But a lot of times, like, you have different benefits and perks to kind of different categories of support that you want to give. And so we need your feedback. What kind of perks, what kind of benefits would you like to be on our list on our Patreon? So make sure you can throw those in our Discord or email us at podcast@nintendofuse.com. We'd love to hear what you guys are thinking so that we can kind of build that out based on what you guys want, because we don't want to put things on there that you don't even want. So if you guys are wanting to be generous and wanting to support us in that way, we want to make sure that we're giving you things that you actually want. So be sure to let us know, either in Discord or send us an email.
And if you pay enough,
yeah,
we might send you a lock of Steven's hair. I would
I'm
say
not
mine, but
sure. Like, I got a lot cut off the other day. I've been without a hair. I had been without a haircut for like 4 or 5 months. It'd been a long time. It
Yeah,
was
same.
getting there. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I gotta chop it off. So yeah, I could have collected all that and sent it out.
Next time, collect it. We could do it as
Yeah.
a Christmas gift or a specialty gift. It's
I gotta
Steve's
figure out how
hair.
long. I don't know if it was long enough to like donate to Locks of Love or something like that, but it felt like it was close. It was pretty long this last time.
And if you pay a little bit more, we'll give you some of Greg's bathwater.
That's on our private one. Well, let's get into what
For
we've
anyone
been.
listening, those are all jokes, by the way. All
Yeah.
jokes. No.
Now giving you
Notice how
hair
Barry
or
volunteers me and Steve to do
I
the
know,
more
yeah,
questionable
yeah.
things, and he
But
doesn't
see,
put his
what
own
of berries can we
No,
get
dirty
rid of?
laundry.
I said I would do my hair, but I don't have any, so I can't.
So why isn't it your bathwater then?
Oh, I don't think people could afford my bathwater.
Well, let's get into what we've been playing and get off whatever train we are on right now. So let's start it off with you, Barry, for 2026. What have you been playing lately?
Yeah, my list is a little bit smaller than usual, especially last time versus where we had like 4 weeks or 5, 6 weeks, whatever it was. But on the Switch, I played Pokemon Unite and Asphalt Legends Unite as always, and I also played some. I forgot to write it down, but I've played some Arranger, which is a role-playing puzzle like game. Greg, if not reviewed it, talked about it last time, and liked it a lot. And it's a lot of fun. It's the combat is all puzzle, and this you can't die, so it's very casual, very relaxed. But the puzzles are very challenging. On the Switch 2, playing Pokemon Legends ZA still. But the main reason I don't have any other real games going on is because I've been sucked into Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon. And I'm playing on Switch 2. Last time I talked about how I did the PS5 demo. Why am I on Switch 2? Because my PS5 physical didn't arrive till last Wednesday, like a week after the game actually came. So I said, screw it, I'm just going to get on Switch 2, but Switch 2 is a game key card, so at that point I just download it because game key cards are stupid. At that point it's a digital game anyways, I might as well not have to take a cartridge out. So I got that. I had replayed through the demo, which was the prologue, and I'll tell you, comparing the Switch 2 version to the PS5 version, I don't see a difference. Like the
Wow.
Switch 2 version runs really, really well. And I'm almost done. I'm at the latter half of Act 3 for people who know, but it is a big game. I think I'm 60 something hours in now. It is a big, big game. I'm doing everything, of course. Awesome, awesome game. But now I'm at a deadline because Dragon Quest VII is coming up very, very soon, and I got to finish one RPG and immediately jump into another, provided I don't get another curveball from work thrown in or another review thrown in. So we'll see. Still playing Final Fantasy 14 as well on the PC and mobile. Still doing my Mario Kart Tour, LinkedIn games, New York Times games, and Pokemon TCG Pocket. But yeah, nice short for me this time.
Nice. What's the date for Dragon Quest again?
It's the 3rd, but I think if you get like
Okay.
the collector's edition or the bonus edition, you get it a few days early. So
Okay.
my goal is to finish Trails by Friday. if I can do that. And on top of that, I got a nor'easter to shovel, so I'm gonna be exhausted, and a toddler. And I'll tell you this, having a toddler now, like I understand people falling asleep and taking naps. My body shuts down around 4 p.m. It just dies. I'm playing and I just die for about 20 minutes and wake up. I'm like, what the heck just happened? I am getting old. This kid is killing me. So I get it. I get it now. I miss
Wow.
being young.
Again, let us know what you guys have been playing in the chat. And I know Sparks has probably been playing some Boulder Dash because he's like one of the best in the world at this game. It's ridiculous. Like some
Yeah,
of the
I've
stuff that
watched.
he's been posting in our Discord is crazy. And through him, we actually found out that the game has been updated quite a bit since we did our game chat, which is great because we had a lot of bones to pick with that game, and it's been updated quite a bit. So thanks for Sparks for sharing those amazing details with us, but also for jumping in the chat as well. Greg, what have you been playing?
Well, my list is even shorter than Barry's, even though he likes to tout that his list is shorter. So, I have had a lot of stuff going on with both like the job hunt ongoing, and then like my daughter having to miss school. It's her birthday coming up this week, so everything was getting all set for that with like family parties and everything else and dinners and whatnot. So I've only really been playing my standard mobile line of games, which is basically just the a few different games on Roblox as the holiday updates and stuff have gone away, and then there'll be new updates continue to come out as the time goes on, which is the Dandy's World and also Adopt Me. So like there's some bigger changes coming for both of those games over the last few weeks, considering all the things with the age gate restrictions that have already been in place. And then also on mobile, still doing the Cookie Run Kingdom, where I'm continuing to climb. I'm at the grasp of hoping hitting the Grandmaster tier in the arena mode, which is pretty exciting, where it's like the top like 1,000 some players in the game. So I've been fighting to try to get into that spot for the first time so far. But
Wow,
yeah, that's pretty much it for my end. As that's pretty much all I had time for outside of everything else going on.
nice, nice.
I do have to say, Greg, at least you're lucky that your daughter is at an age where when she's home from school, she can do her things, she play on her iPad, play games, whatever, and doesn't need you over her shoulder. My toddler comes in when he's home because he was home Monday too because of the storm. I don't get the game when he's up because he takes over the TV. It's it's his TV. He watches what he watches, and it doesn't. And if he gets up from a nap and I'm still playing, and he's like starts demanding his stuff on the TV, I'm like, no, Daddy's turn. You gotta wait. He's like, now, and he starts throwing his toys around. I'm like, you gotta wait. So I can't wait for him to get his own TV and his own remote and do your thing and let me game.
See,
So at
this is
least you
why
got that.
the Wii U was a godsend because we could have Bluey or whatever on the TV, and I had the Wii U gamepad. Hey, I can play Super Mario Maker. Boom, 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 boom. Awesome,
See,
great time.
I can do that with the Switch too, but one, his attention span is the fact that he'll watch a video on YouTube, and sometimes he'll want the same part over again, which is like a
Mhm.
2 minute segment. So every 2 minutes I'm rewinding. Or he'll watch 3 minutes of it and then demand another video and get angry if he doesn't get the right video. If I put in the wrong video, he gets even angry. Like, no, that's not the one I want. So I can't really do that. And I'll be honest, I don't like playing the Switch 2 portably because of the Joy-Cons. I don't like the right analog stick being directly below the buttons because I'm used to
Mm.
that angle. And it hurts my hands. It cramps my hands to do that. And I can't do anything like I could push buttons and read text, but I can't do anything competitively or action oriented or race or anything like that. I need that angle of the Pro controller, and there's no third like Hori hasn't made one
Yeah,
yet,
not
and
yet.
it's just,
Yeah,
I hate that vertical. I need that angle
yeah,
because every other controller is angled. That's
yeah, yeah. I'll actually grip mine like with a loose grip so that I can have it more at an angle. Instead of gripping it with it in my palm of my hand, I'll actually grip it on the side a lot of times to create that angle. But at the
but it
same time,
feels
I'm
like
not going to
muscle
play a competitive
memory.
kind of thing like that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like if I want to do a race, I'm not going to do a race like an
yeah.
asphalt really well,
Mm-mm.
or a battle on Pokemon. I'm not going to I'm not going to conform to what I normally will do. So
Yeah.
I'll alleviate it to just literally pushing buttons or reading, going through texts. But it sucks
Mhm.
because it's like, give me a
Yeah.
proper controller. Like, take a pro controller, cut it in half, put it on the sides, and I would be a very happy camper.
So this is where I discovered over the winter break is I would pull out the little stand thing, set up the Switch 2 on a table, and then just had my Pro controller, and then like boom, like right there.
I've done that too on my lap, but it's
Mm.
very nerve-wracking.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
have
I've
been
actually got
playing.
one of those. Yeah, I did get
Oh,
one of
go
those
ahead.
lap desks that is fully portable, and it could have a flat surface right on your lap with the thing, and then I could put the Switch right there in tabletop mode, right there, and then still have my hands free on the Pro
I
controller.
want that too. I was talking about getting one of those, but again, when you have a toddler, sometimes you need to just jump up,
Yep,
and you
that's
can't
the
do
problem.
that.
Yep, yes.
Yeah.
It's
It's really the toddler is the issue, not
yes,
the Switch.
that's yes. Well, yeah, because then I would be able to use the Pro controller, no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
But that's the life of having kids. If you want a game, don't have kids.
There you go. I I don't have kids, and I still don't have enough time to game. I was realizing my Switch 2 is really, really fingerprinted in the back. But the front is also fingerprinted because of one of the games I've been playing on the go, which is actually, let's just glide right into what I've been playing. So I've been playing the Animal Crossing New Horizons update. So that's been fun to kind of play around with. There's not a ton that I've been able to do with it yet. But I get on there for like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes or so, and I'll do the hotel decorating the rooms and that sort of thing. And I got the megaphone to like call the different residents or the island residents and everything, but I haven't used it yet, but I have it. And I'm waiting. I'm still trying to figure out. I think it's just a timing thing, but when you can get the games that are going to be in it, or is that coming down the road? I don't know, but
No, they're in the game now. I think
so
you
I
can
haven't
just order
found them
them.
yet. They haven't. I guess
I
they
think you
pop up in the
order
store
them.
or something. So
No, I think you might have to order them in the Nook catalog maybe or something like that,
so I haven't seen them yet.
under the promotional items.
Oh, they haven't popped up in my list yet. So
'Cause I
I don't know.
know
I
they
keep
put
checking.
the stuff from Pocket Camp there, because Pocket Camp no
Yep.
longer connects to the internet, so they put all
Yeah. So
that
they
stuff
gave
there for
everybody's.
everybody.
Yep. Yeah. So
Did you buy
I'll
the
keep checking.
upgrade or just do the update? Like, you have the
I did
Switch
the
2
upgrade.
upgrade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The
How
Switch
is
2.
it? Like, do you notice a difference?
Loading times are the best. Like the loading times are significantly faster, which is really great because I think even like they bothered me when I was going from going to like flying to a different island and things like that. That was really long. But honestly, what bothered me the most was moving from one room in my house to another. I was like, why is this loading so long? But it's significantly shorter on the Switch 2. So that's been a lot better. The graphics look great, but I don't it looked fine already. I mean, with that kind of graphic style, 1080p is fine. But yeah, it looks good, but the load times are definitely worth. If you're going to play it at all, it's worth it for sure. And then so why I have fingerprints all over my Switch 2 is because I'm playing more Plants vs Zombies, and it's been fun. It's been cool to get back into the game. The one thing that I am bothered with, and maybe Greg has the similar experience, is that you can't unlock other modes until you beat the adventure. And I've already beaten this adventure mode on my phone years ago. And it's such a pain to have to go through the entire thing again to finally unlock these other modes. And so I'm slowly but surely getting through, enjoying it. It's a great rendition of the game on Switch 2, but I really wish I could just unlock those other modes quickly rather than having to beat the adventure mode because that just takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. Especially because Plants vs Zombies is one of those things where like if you mess up one time, sorry, you're dead. You got to start the whole level all the way over again.
Yeah, those unlocking mode things is always super tricky. I mean, I understand that you want to kind of gatekeep certain stuff out, but sometimes you need to not be so restrictive. But
Yep. Yep. And then I played through the new Gravity games, more of those that we got for the Switchmas. So I played all of them now. and let me just tell you, all of them are bad. But I played them all. So
I noticed you played like all of them within like 2 hours ago, 2 hours ago, 2 hours. I mean, he must have spent 5 minutes with each of these games.
5 to maybe 15 minutes with each game, depending on how bad it was. Actually, I'll get to that in a second. I did spend more time with one of those. But so Pool Pro Gold is awful. Like it's a top-down pool game, and you know what would be awesome in a top-down pool game on a touch control system is to use touch controls to control where you want to shoot the ball, because that's what you can do in on your phone or tablet. That'd be great. Nope, can't control it by touch. But you know what'd be second best? Be able to control it with your analog stick. That'd be great to be able to swing the stick around where your pool cue where you want it. Nope. You know how you turn your pool cue and aim it? The R and L buttons, which are so janky. Like you can't get precision on it, and it's horrible. It's just bad. You even try to use the analog stick to like place the cue ball when you like scratch, and it jumps all over the place. You can't place it where you really want it either. It's just bad. It's a bad experience. And then I played Retro Drive Revamped, which is kind of fun for the first level. And then all of a sudden, the second level, I can't get through it fast enough. It's weird floaty controls, and I couldn't even beat the second level. And at that point, I was like, I don't even want to beat this. So I turned that off. And then I played Jam Jam. Jam Jam I played for a little longer. So it's a puzzle platformer sort of thing where you shoot this little box character around and collect coins around there, and have to get them from the beginning to the end of the level. And so you have to shoot in the right way. So you flings them around the level, and that was kind of fun. I played several levels of that and enjoyed it. One True Hero is a Zelda-like game that is significantly worse than Zelda. It is just bad. You get this sword. Apparently, it's a magical sword that can do anything. You can't chop down grass and weeds. Like, what is that? And then you get to this point where you're like, there's a box in front of you. Nope, you can't even break the box with the thing. I was like, this is dumb. The controls are floaty, and I was just like, this is horrible. It's 3D, but it looks like a 2D turned into 3D. Yeah, not great fun. And played Bullets and Brains, which is kind of a twin stick shooter. It's kind of okay. I played a little more of that, and it's enjoyable, but there's other games that are like it that are significantly better. And then the game that I spent the most time with was Kids Farm Coloring. Because I just got carried away, and it actually uses touch control, and you can color these little farm animals. And my wife looks over from the other side of the couch, and she's like, "Are you coloring?" I was like, "Yeah, I am." It's great because I was like watching TV and just coloring on my Switch. It was fantastic.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
My
that's
wife
great.
uses coloring books, like real ones, and colors all the time just to relax.
And then Barry, are you excited? I played some
I
AI, the
saw,
Somnium
I
Files.
saw. I was so happy to see that.
Yeah. Do you happen to see how much time I spent with it?
No,
No, is it not telling you? I spent a significant amount of time with it. I'd say I don't know how long. I can't remember how long the first game is. Do you happen to remember off the top of your head?
maybe 20 hours,
Okay, so
15
I'm
hours.
probably about halfway through then, if it's 20 hours.
Wow, you're getting sucked
So
into it. Then I take it.
yeah. So here's the thing, the same issues that I had at the beginning, which was like, I was looking at the last time I played it was like March of last year. So like I got thrown into the game. I wish they had some sort of thing to like remind you where you were, because it took a little bit to what's going on in this game again. All right, so I finally got my bearings and got caught up and everything. And I will say the story is really intriguing. However, I do feel like it's a little too slow at times. Not all times, because sometimes it's quick and you're moving right through, but sometimes I'm like, this is taking forever. Like we can get to the point a little quicker. And then there's other times where I still have issues with the controls or the game mechanics a little bit, because you have to like talk to people and you have to there was a couple levels, quote levels, where you have to do everything in that scene before you get something else to trigger. And that's kind of annoying when there's so many options. You basically have to like point your cursor everywhere, and is there anything else I can click on before something else finally triggers, because you have to click just the right thing. Because there's like one that I tried to click something and it was just like, oh yeah, that's a knife on the table, great. But then after I did something else, then I was able to go back to the knife and it progressed the story. And so like it's kind of annoying to me, but it doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes it's really easy, smooth, and moving on. But every once in a while, you get in some scenarios where I'm like, I feel like I've clicked everything. Now I got to go find the one thing that I've forgotten to click on so I can move this story along. That's kind of annoying.
Have you hit any endings yet?
I'm guessing no. I mean, I haven't felt like it ended. I mean, everything's
Okay, yeah, because
continuing
there's like
on.
a flow chart, like to do different, because you make decisions in the
Right,
game.
right. So I've gotten a couple different places where it shows, yeah, that there's like a branch, like a
Mhm.
fork in the road, and I have somehow chosen one direction.
Yep.
I don't know how I chose that one direction. That's not that's the other thing. That is not obvious in the moment that I'm doing
And
that.
because
Like
it's your first
later
play.
makes sense,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
your first play, it's your story. You're going through your story, and then you get to start bouncing around. You don't have to do the whole game again. You just bounce to different areas.
Okay. Okay.
There is one ending you can get pretty early, and it's completely hilarious. Um, if you go to the producers building, Lava Stack, I forget, I think it's called, or and there's a receptionist there.
Uh-huh.
You keep talking to the receptionist,
Okay.
and you could, and she, he's kind of a flirt. Your character's a flirt,
Yeah, yeah.
and if you keep talking to her, you could get the option to just throw away the case and just grab her and go on vacation. Say screw the game. And
That's
you
funny.
can ending that way, but you have to actually like fight for it.
You
You have
have
to
to
keep
okay.
choosing the option. But
Yeah.
she's like, no, no, are you serious? Nah, really? Okay, and it's literally counted as an ending, and it's like,
That's
it gives you a
funny.
title and everything. But there's a lot of hidden little things like that where it's like
Yeah.
if you really want to try, you could find some cool stuff.
Well, I noticed like there was one guy that I asked what his name was, because when he was like going to the cops that was in there, and I
You,
kept asking him over and over and over again. And I thought it was going to lead to something. No, no, eventually it just
so
stops. But I asked him like
so
20 times.
So that I'm gonna tell you that is a joke in all three games because he's there. He's an
Okay.
investigator, and the joke is that you
He keeps
never
forgetting it.
remember his name.
Okay.
Every time in every game, you call him something completely different. They never don't repeat the names, and he
Okay.
keeps getting angry about it. And like, what's your name? No, I'm not gonna tell you. Please, please, you'll really remember it. Okay, it's this. Okay, something else. Ah, and he gets angry. It's a joke. It's all
Okay.
that. It doesn't lead to anything because it's supposed to be just a fun joke.
That makes sense then. Yeah. But I thought it was going to lead something, because like, oh, let's keep going.
Well,
Yeah.
it's that there's humor. It's a very humorous game while telling a very
Mhm.
serious story.
Right. Right. Yeah. And you weren't kidding about how it gets weirder. Wow.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah, but I like that the story gets weirder. Rather, in the beginning, I thought the concept was really weird, but eventually that starts to kind of make sense.
oh, it's
But the
really cool
story gets
concept.
weirder instead.
It gets very deep. Like the
Yeah,
story gets very complicated, but it makes sense. It's one of those where when you think you figured it out, you probably didn't. And then you're like, "Oh, so it's this," but you're still wrong.
yeah.
And if you guess the ending, I will be very shocked. But it's one of those where
Nah,
when
I
you
have no
finally
idea
beat
what's
it,
going on.
you're like, "Oh my god." Like my mind is just blown. Like
Hmm,
I didn't see
yeah,
that I would never would have guessed that.
I've had a couple ideas so far, but and which still could play out.
Good.
But I'm not gonna say anything now because I don't want to spoil, especially for Greg. But anybody else that hasn't played it. But
Steve,
maybe
you're making me look
we can
bad.
chat we can chat later. I'll say.
I hope you like going. I like the idea of going into people's minds and like digging into their psyche and stuff like that and finding out.
That it makes a
I
lot
think
more
that's
sense now
mhm.
rather than the first time I did it, and that was just weird. It kinda came out of the blue, and you're like, "What am I doing? What is going on here?" And
But
then
now,
later, it makes sense. But the first time you do
imagine
it,
if we
it's
had that.
weird.
Could you imagine if we had that technology in real life? How you couldn't get away with things
What
because we
we
would just go in.
definitely have to have some more boundaries and everything.
Oh
That
yeah,
could
no,
send
no,
us on
it's
a
definitely in the gray.
yeah.
It's definitely not operating. But that's the fun of it. Your cops operating under the
Yeah,
table, doing things you probably shouldn't do to find out solutions,
for sure.
and like
Yeah.
reliving people's trauma and stuff as you dig deeper into their psyche.
Right, right. So our apologies for Sparks is asking in the in the chat, like, what kind of game is this? Is it a Hotel Dusk glass window kind of game? So
Yeah,
yeah,
kind of.
it's similar in a way. It's investigation type game, and but there's other concepts that are happening, especially the somnium thing is basically you can synchronize with people and kind of go into their dreams, kind of like, I mean, you're not planting dreams. It's not like that movie. What am I thinking?
No.
Um, anyway, it's not like that. You're kind of just going in there and observing and interacting and stuff like that.
But you're
But
breaking through
it's
mental locks because how our
right,
mind will lock things away, like traumatic things, or to protect ourselves. And you actually have to figure out ways to use your time because you're timed. You're only allowed so much time in
right,
there. So yeah, it's like a puzzle mechanic. You have to use items to extend your time and doing different things. Like you go into a room and there's a newspaper on the table and a drink. And if you pick up the newspaper, it might take 5 seconds to read it, but it might be a headline of something that they did, or it's an event that they were a part of or they witnessed, and that slowly will break away the wall so you dig deeper into their psyche
hmm,
and discover the truth and discover what they saw, if they witnessed a crime, if they committed a crime, if they were part of a cover up. Like there's a lot to it.
yeah,
It's very
yeah,
well done.
that's cool. Sparks just said, "Okay, cheers. You cost me money." LOL. So
it's
That
yeah,
is
it's
money.
really good.
there you go. There you go. I wish like that's what we do sometimes. So we've turned from a Life is Strange podcast into a little bit of an AI
I'm
podcast.
just glad you're enjoying it. I'm very
Yeah,
happy you're
I
enjoying it
still
because
think there's some issues, but overall, it's an enjoyable experience for sure.
and they
Yeah,
they do iron out some of those issues. It's the first
good,
game too.
good, good. Let's move on from what we've been playing. Well, after I finish my list, this is gonna be quick because we got lots and lots and lots else to talk about instead of talking about Somnium Files for a whole podcast. But I've been playing a little bit of Rocket League, and let me tell you, I am not enjoying it on Switch 2 anymore. It's a pain. I booted it up, and granted, I haven't played for a little while, but I was like, let me play on Switch 2. Number one, I love that you're like everything like crosses over from one system to the next, but with the buttons being changed on Nintendo versus like Xbox is a pain in the butt because I have to go and swap them every time I play on the other system. And yeah, it's just not. I much more enjoy it on PC or Xbox. But I played a little bit of it, and then of course, lastly, Clash Royale and Pokemon TCG Pocket on mobile as well. And I've actually I finished off some sets, which is really exciting. Still nowhere close to where Barry is, but I have finished off some sets, which is nice.
I feel when they introduced the share feature, a lot of people finished off sets because it's like, oh, you only need one card and I've got five of them. Here you
Yep,
go. I'll help you out. That was such a good thing to add. And it's a
it's really nice.
free every day. It's really nice.
Yep, yep. So Barry and his wife and I have been helping each other finish sets, which is nice.
Yep.
So, and Greg should get on there. So
Greg
although
hasn't played in
he's
years.
very, very behind, so we're going to be helping him more than he's helping us. So anyway, let's move on from what we've been playing. That's probably the longest we've ever talked about what we've been playing, except for maybe a Life is Strange game. But speaking of Life is Strange, we're going to talk about some headlines, and Barry's going to kick us off with the first one.
Yeah, so we just talked about, AI and talked about how it's not a Life is Strange podcast. Well, let's talk about Life is Strange. Life is Strange Reunion was shown off just a few days ago. It is the continuation after Double Exposure, and it is the finale for the Max and Chloe storyline. Chloe comes back, and it seems really interesting how they're doing it. I don't want to spoil it for those that haven't played it, but a lot of people noticed, and myself included, that it was announced for PlayStation, Xbox, PC, but not for Switch. And all the other Life is Strange games, minus Captain Spirit, have appeared on Switch. My speculation is that Nintendo, for whatever reason, prefers their things announced in a Nintendo Direct. So maybe it'll just be announced in Nintendo Direct. I think that's stupid because you lose the momentum of this announcement. You could have it in both, and then you get double exposure. See what I did there?
Ah.
But no, no, as of now, none on Switch 2, but it is coming out in March, and it is complete. It is not going to be episodic. There's going to be chapters, but it's all going to be released at once. So you get the whole game at once, which is nice.
Speaking of the whole game at once, we got a new update for Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. So it got a surprise update, much like it did when we found out Funky Kong was being added to the Tropical Freeze numerous years ago. So now we got Dixie Kong being added into the original game from the Wii that was ported over to Switch. So if you would like to kind of enjoy this free update, you can now play as Dixie Kong in her traditional helicopter-like hair swirl move to slow your descent as you enjoy through this fun platforming game.
And some news from Nintendo is that veteran producer Kensuke Tanabe, who is known for lots of different games that he has helped produce, including Metroid and Paper Mario, has officially confirmed that he's going to be retiring from Nintendo after nearly 40 years with the company. And while this is sad, he's done so much for us as gamers, for Nintendo. It's interesting because this also seems to be the first of many people who have been working for Nintendo for a really long time that have basically defined our childhood of gaming that is now starting to retire. So it's congratulations to Mr. Tanabe, but it's kind of sad to see this start to happen.
Speaking of retiring, as we all know, Doug Bowser retired as president of Nintendo of America very recently, and he talked about how he wants to retire, spend time with his family, all that stuff, which is great. So then he announced right after that he's joined the board of directors over at Hasbro. Now, granted, board of directors is the place where all CEOs go to retire, but it's interesting to see him go from Nintendo to Hasbro. So we wish Doug Bowser the best of luck, and we hope that you bring prosperity to Hasbro and do some good things. But it's just kind of interesting. Reggie bounced to board of directors over at GameStop, and now Doug is going to Hasbro. Who knows where Devin's going to go after?
Well, while we may not know where may end up going, we do have a big update for Super Mario Brothers Wonder. So we got a huge info dump that happened over the last 2 weeks. So we found out that the update will be launching on March 26th. And then in addition to we getting an exact date, we got a whole bunch of new features and even some new amiibos. So some the amiibos that will be joining the group this time will be like the Elephant Mario, Poplin, and Prince Florin, and Captain Toad. And then also, I think the Talking Flower as well too is all for the amiibo side of it. But then we do have the launch of the Talking Flower like accessory that's like an actual item that you can hold in your hands that will react to your voice and other fun features there. And that was up for pre-order on Nintendo.com. So if you want to see some information about that and how it reacts, it's all posted there as well too. And then, yeah, that's got a lot of big update modes with the Toad Brigade training camp being added into the game, along with an assist mode, and then some other mischievous enemies and familiar friends are all make their appearance in this big update for Mario Brothers Wonder. So if you want to check it out, it'll be on March 26th.
And some sad news for us. Ubisoft has announced that they're going to be canceling 6 games. Of course, Ubisoft is a well-known gaming publisher, gaming developers, and we've created lots of great games, including the Prince of Persia series. And we were all excited about Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake that was going to be launching, and we got news about that. And that is unfortunately one of the games that has been canceled. So Ubisoft taking a big hit. They've stated that it's a change in the gaming industry, and they've just got to react to all these different things. Decisions are difficult, as they're necessary, they say, for us to build a more focused and efficient, sustainable organization over the long term. So unfortunately, we're not going to be getting the Sands of Time remake.
And Pokemon Company has announced that Pokemon TCG Pocket is getting its next expansion card set called Fantastical Parade. It is actually coming tomorrow, January 28th, 2026. It's coming at 5 p.m. Pacific. That's 8 p.m. Eastern. It is only going to be one pack, which means it's going to be a smaller set. So look forward to new mega cards, new EXs, and a whole bunch of new stuff, including stadiums. It's the first time we're seeing stadiums.
Another game getting an update is Mario Kart World. So they're adding a new team feature to Knockout Tour. So if you are looking to enjoy the Knockout Tour mode with a team, like you can make teams have like 2 teams or even 4 teams, and you can specify which characters on each team and everything. So it make it more enjoyable to play with some friends or family. And we don't have a release date for this update, but I'm imagining it could be out now as of the time of this recording.
Yeah, I think it is out.
It is out, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Tomodachi Life is getting Living the Dream specifically is getting a direct as of this recording in 2 days, so less than 2 days, on January 29th, 2026. It's going to be at 6 a.m. Pacific time. If I do quick math, 9 a.m. Eastern time, I believe. And it's going to be roughly 20 minutes and provide more information on the upcoming Nintendo Switch game. So if you're looking forward to Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, make sure you check out that direct on January 29th.
And a few more game updates and information. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade just launched on the Switch too. Sadly, a game keycard, but if you're curious, there was a demo, and there still is a demo that is available right now. It is one of those that the save data will carry over. And you also get 2 bonus items, the Revival Earrings and the Survival Set. In addition, Kirby Air Riders got another update, version 1.3, that was just released yesterday. This now has game share, so you can now, if you own 1 copy of the game, you can game share it to other systems. A new game mode, Grand Prix, was added to air ride matches in the paddocks. A new rule set, sub-in series, is now available in paddocks, and 2 players can participate in the paddocks and quick matches from a single Switch 2 system. And there's a bunch of other stuff that were added, but it's really nice to see so many adjustments still going to Sakurai's latest.
And lastly, to jump on the update train, we've had our updates for the Nintendo Music app that's on your iOS or Android device. So as of January 19th, we got the soundtrack for Phantom Hourglass Legend of Zelda game added in. And then on the 26th, we got the soundtrack for WarioWare Mega Microgames also added to the application as well. So it's great to see that they continue to support and continue to list more music into this application.
Nice. I might need to check out the playlist there for WarioWare because that music is kind of hectic to go along with that game, and so it'd be interesting to see how long each of those songs are. Number one, and what they included. So
But one of
like,
the best parts is the feature is you can make it play for hours. So if it's like a 5-second clip, you can schedule it to play for 2 hours, and it's just like a short little loop that
yay.
just keeps going.
Enjoy it ad nauseum.
Shout out to Jakester jumping in the chat and saying hi. Great to have you here. So yeah, lots of headlines, lots of stuff going on, lots of good news with updates and soon directs and things like that, but also some sad news with a game potentially not coming to Switch or Switch 2. We'll see. But then also canceled games from Ubisoft and things like that. So Barry, what do you think about these headlines?
So I'm just going to run through this quickly. I do think Life is Strange Reunion will hit Switch 2 at the very least. All the other Life is Strange games are there. Square has been very supportive of the Switch 2. I can't see why it wouldn't be there. I think it's just something stupid with Nintendo and them wanting to premiere it in a direct or announce it in a direct. We've seen this with other games before. I think the DKC Returns free update is awesome. They didn't have to do that. I don't think anyone was asking them to do that, but they did it, and it's awesome. They added new modes, new Dixie, the HD graphical features, and they adjusted some stuff for the Switch too. Tanabe retiring saddens me, and like you mentioned, a lot of the people who designed our childhood will be retiring. I think Nintendo has a rule where when you hit 65, you're either relegated to a smaller like consulting team or you retire. You're no longer working with games anymore. So and Miyamoto is of course the exception, but there was another one that retired too. So I think we're going to see quite a bit of them. Doug Bowser, again, I wish you the best of luck over at Hasbro. Mario Wonder, it looks like there's a good chunk of single player stuff, which was my biggest concern. I thought it was only going to be multiplayer,
Mm-hmm.
but with it being single player, provided I have the time, I plan to play it.
Yeah.
Now they have the amiibo, which I pre-ordered, but did they ever say what they do? Like, we have
No,
no idea what they do.
no, they just
Here's
look
3 new
cool.
amiibo, but we're not going to tell you what they do in Mario Wonder. It's kind of like the Mario Galaxy amiibo for Mario Galaxy that came out last year, but we still don't know what they do and they're still not out.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll find out. The talking flower, I've been debating if we're going to get it for our son or not. I think though that Steve is a talking flower because it states that it can't get the weather right or the time right. And we know that Steve has problems with his time travel. So I think that talking flower is your spirit animal, Steve, because it just
I mean,
I
Nintendo
think it's
should send me
hilarious
one.
though. It's gonna be like, oh, it's 5 o'clock. Oh God, my meeting. Oh wait, no, it's 3 o'clock. Flower.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's such a weird option to include.
I know.
We're
So
gonna
you're
give you a
going. I
clock
knew
that
you were
says you're
talking about
wrong.
getting one for your son, but now that you know it does that, are you going to turn it on, or is it just going to be something that's turned off and on a shelf somewhere?
I don't know. We haven't discussed that far yet. Um, but the Ubisoft thing sucks. I hate that they canceled. They also delayed like 7 other games. Ubisoft is in trouble. They just have not been performing animately. And I know some of the games that were canceled. There was the Star Wars Outlaws 2 was canceled. It was I think a Watch Dogs thing was canceled.
Mm,
There was an Assassin's Creed thing that was canceled. Like I don't know what they're doing. Mismanagement, what on? Prince of Persia was 6 years or whatever for the
yeah.
remake. Like, come on, that should have been done.
Yeah.
At least give us a bone. Like, port the trilogy. Give us the fourth game too. So the
Yeah.
trilogy in 4 parts. Give us a collection. Let us have it. TCG Pocket stuff. I'm excited for. I'm ready for tomorrow to get new packs. Mario Kart World I updated, but I haven't tried yet. Tomodachi Life. I'm looking forward to that direct. But unfortunately, I have a dentist appointment exactly at that time, so I can't catch it live. But I'll be checking it out. I'm interested in that. 7 remake. I'm not going to do the demo because I already played and beat it on the PS5. But the Kirby update I did do, and I might mess around with it. And Nintendo Music, as always, I think it's awesome. I'm glad they keep updating it, but it's not for me right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Go in the chat real quick. Let's see who I. So Spark says it's not my thing. I'm not really sure what he was
He's
referring
talking
to.
about the TCG Pocket, like
TCG Pocket.
trading card
Okay,
game.
yeah, yeah, because you guys were talking about the trading card game stuff. Yeah, I'm like I've said this before. Like I never got into the actual trading card game, the physical game, but getting into the mobile version has been really easy. So don't write it off, and it's also free. So check it out for free and try it out. Don't write it off if you're like me and said, oh well, never did the physical card thing. That doesn't necessarily translate into the mobile game. So check it out. It's free. And then Jakester's here and and talking about my time traveling, and maybe that's why I'm wearing the shirt I am. Yeah. So Greg, what do you think about these headlines?
Yeah, I mean, to pretty much echo Barry, I mean, I basically agree with a lot of the points that he made. Like the Life is Strange, it certainly could be on something for the rumored Nintendo Direct that we'll be probably discussing in a little while. Donkey Kong Country Returns getting an update that obviously, as he said, was pretty much unexpected and we're out of no one was really asking for it, but it's still great that it's there and giving love to the DK game. I mean, Dixie's a phenomenal character, and it's great to have more options available for anyone jumping into the series. Alongside with like Kensabe and Doug Bowser moving on. That's well wishes to enjoying the what's next in their life and what's going on. They'll be joining the board of directors and also for uh, Doug Bowser at least, and then I guess we'll find out where Kensabe might be going in the future. The Mario Wonder update is great. I mean, I probably won't be checking out it in the future, but I did order the flower things. I think that's pretty hysterical that it kind of does that. So I might have that on the podcast and might be like, hey, it's time for shut Barry up or something. I don't know. Like it's have say it's something fun. Um,
If you're not
had to
watching the
get a
video
gem in
version,
there
this is
for
your reason. This is why you should be watching the video version of this podcast.
So for $10 a month, you can get Greg's bathwater. Okay, just $10 a month.
Nice.
yeah, I just had a lot of fun with that. But yeah, the Ubisoft canceling game thing obviously is pretty awful to hear, but I mean, it's almost kind of giving me Wii U vibes where they were kind of trying to cancel a lot of the games and push stuff back. So I'm really hoping that everything turns out and they eventually will release the stuff that they need to. Still haven't really gotten into the Pokemon TG Pocket anytime recently, but maybe I do need to jump in there if you guys are able to complete my sets. Mario Kart World being updated is also pretty great to see. Might be more to check it out now that I could be on a team with like my wife as opposed to just getting easily eliminated and having to watch the rest of it. Probably will be checking out the Tomodachi Life Direct tomorrow. I don't know if that's a game that my daughter might be interested in, so it could be something I'll be looking into. Final Fantasy getting the demo is great. Might be something I check out here in the near future, even though it's always better late than never, as they always say. Same thing with the Kirby Air Riders. I still have to open my copy and enjoy that. So great to see it's already got an update there. And then I'm still enjoying the Nintendo Music app here and there. But yeah, like what Steve was saying, I wonder how long some of those track lengths are for the WarioWare series because those micro games are always whatever just seconds long. So I almost wonder if that's how long some of the music tracks will actually be.
Yeah. Yeah. Quickly, Ubisoft or Jakester says that Ubisoft is as doomed as they can get. The fact that they only have released one game in 2025, canceling, delaying so many games in a hurry, just screams so many red flags. And yeah, he's basically talked to people and say, yeah, they're basically going out of business. And I really hope they're not. I hope they're not. They really are at its core a great company, but man, there's some sad news that keeps coming out of them, from them. Um,
So I just want to jump in here quickly
yeah.
because I'm sure someone listening might be like, well, why don't you just check Nintendo Music instead of Wonder? So I did. I opened up Nintendo Music to check WarioWare music. So like the opening is a minute and a half,
Yeah.
but then there's stuff like the Crazy Cars and intro games and Wario Whirlwind and Diamond Dig and stuff like that. And you'll be happy to know that they're all 5 seconds long each.
I was thinking, yeah, that's exactly what they should be for that game. So if you do decide to turn it into like a longer song, how long does it get?
I don't know. I've never used that feature.
Oh, okay.
Greg is the one.
I mean, as I talk about
Yeah,
the
I
I'm
mean,
episodes,
assuming
maybe
you
you can
can put
figure
it
that
to
out.
like 5 hours and it just plays 5 second loop for 5 hours.
That'd be crazy. So yeah, I'm with you guys about Life is Strange. I think it'd be really, really weird if they didn't bring it to Switch, or at least Switch 2. It can handle it for sure. So I think it's just a Nintendo thing. They're holding off, maybe gonna announce it in a future direct. But then also Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, the update. I kept holding off every time they update this game, every time they release it again and everything, and like gets me that closer. I'm like, should I get this? Should I get it? I don't know. Like, it's getting stronger and stronger. So who knows? Maybe one of these days you'll hear me say that. Oh, hey, guess what I got? Donkey Kong
Did you
Country
play the Wii
Returns
version?
HD. I played. So of course I played the original Donkey Kong Country, and then I had Donkey Kong Country
Returns Wii.
Returns, but I don't think I got the former HD version. So I can't get the free update because I don't have this remake, but I got
No,
the
but you
original
played it on the
Returns.
Wii though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So the 3DS actually added new levels, and this one has those levels in it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
there's actually new content you didn't
Right,
even get on Wii.
right. So all those reasons is why I get tempted every time they talk about the game. And now they've released this free update, and it's tempting me again. I haven't done it yet, but I might. Who knows? And then Tanabe retiring, Doug Bowser retiring, all these different things are, yeah, of course, sad. I think especially like to see how that transpires into these games that we've known, because these people that have been leading the charge are now starting to step out of their seat of leadership. And so it's going to be weird to eventually, I mean, it makes me think of Mario, honestly. Like I know Miyamoto is not as involved as he once was, but still at some point he's going to fully step out, and we're going to have a Mario that had nothing to do with Miyamoto at all. And that's weird in my mind. Like that's crazy. Or a Zelda game that has nothing to do with him. That's going to be weird. But then yeah, Super Mario Wonder, I think that's cool. Like that there's so many other updates that are included in this that are single player as well. Because I was with you, Barry. Like I was kind of holding back. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy this if it's just multiplayer. So that's exciting. I probably won't be getting the amiibo or the talking flower. The talking flower is funny. I like it, but I probably won't be getting it. Ubisoft, we've talked about already. Pokemon, TCG Pocket, excited about new cards. Mario Kart World, I may eventually get to it. I wasn't a huge Knockout Tour fan. The idea of bringing teams into it changes the game, though, so that's fun. I like that they did that, but I don't think I'll be doing it as much. I'm not a Tomodachi Life fan, and so that's cool. That's coming out, but I'm not excited about it necessarily.
You
And
gonna watch
then,
the direct though? Because we're probably going to talk
I
about it
mean,
next
I'll
podcast.
watch the direct, but I will have no idea of like most of what it's talking about, because I'm like, that's just a weird game, and I'm like, I've never gotten into it, but it's just weird. So I'll watch it eventually. We'll talk about it on the future podcast, but yeah, I'm not planning on getting the game. And then Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. That's so cool that it's out. Like I'm just wondering, when is Square gonna stop milking the Final Fantasy VII cow?
God,
Like when
hopefully
is that finally gonna get
15 years
done?
ago.
Ugh. Kirby
Won't
updates are
don't
cool,
do it.
but I've not played the game. Doesn't excite me. But yeah, that's the end of the headlines. But we're not done yet, because we got some main discussion happening. And one of those things that we're going to be talking about is a little direct that dropped. So Nintendo's got another direct, like we just said, for Tomodachi Life that's going to be happening in just a couple days. And just like a couple days ago, was it just one day ago? Did I get that right? 2 days ago? Was it on Sunday? It was on
I
Sunday,
think it was
which is
actually on
weird.
It was
Sunday.
Sunday morning.
So strange.
And the
They
first
dropped it on a
first
Sunday.
Nintendo Direct on a Sunday.
Yeah, that was a little weird. But we got a Super Mario Galaxy movie direct, and it was potentially, I need to look, but I think maybe the shortest direct we've ever had. I think it clocked in at like maybe 7 minutes, something like that. So we initially got the trailer. They dropped the new trailer on us at the very beginning of the direct. Miyamoto greeted us and jumped right into the trailer. He shared a little more details, threw it over to Chris from Illumination, and then we're done. But in the trailer, we got to have our first look at Yoshi in the movie. So that was really exciting to see Yoshi. We've saw so much more in this really short trailer. Lots of things that seem to be they're pulling from Super Mario Odyssey. especially this world that we get thrown into the very beginning of the trailer. It's all from Super Mario Odyssey. And then, we're introduced to Yoshi, and we get to see a little bit more of the movie. But I don't know about you guys, but I am more and more and more excited about this movie every time I see a little bit of it. They've been dropping little clips and teaser trailers online since then as well. But so much hidden in this movie. I want to talk about all that we saw and everything in just a second. But before we dive into details, Barry, what's your general thoughts of this direct and the trailer?
This is the ultimate direct that could have been an email. Um, it's just there wasn't a lot to it. It was just the trailer. The trailer was good. I'm glad that the trailer answered the question of what about the tease at the end of the first movie? Like, are they going to completely ignore that? And we all expected them to do Mario World after that, obviously with Yoshi. And now people, I've seen, they're worried that Galaxy is only going to be a little bit in the movie, even though it's called Galaxy, because the majority of what's shown is like Mario 3, Mario World, Little Mario Odyssey, Mario 2. And then it's like, oh well, when do we go into Galaxy? Where's Rosalina? Bowser Jr. Which Sunshine? So now it almost feels like it's a compilation of everything just thrown into one, as opposed to doing separate ones. And I'm happy though. I'm happy the way they did Yoshi. I'm happy they didn't have like I don't know Dana Carvey as Yoshi or Gilbert Godfrey as Yoshi, or he's that or Danny DeVito as Yoshi or something like that. Like it's Yoshi's voice, so that's cool. I love the Mario 2 references. You have Birdo and you have Mauser there. Like Nintendo remembers Mauser exists. I want to see Wart. I want to see Wart at this point. Like he's got to be there. Like
Mhm.
wherever they are, make Wart be there. Like that. You're doing all these references. You got to do that. But I'm excited for the movie. I can't wait. Obviously, it was moved up too. They didn't make
Yeah.
many mention of it. It was supposed to be April 3rd, and it's April 1st now. Interesting day to launch a movie, April 1st, but I look forward to seeing it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that date change was interesting because typically we get Thursday or Friday dates for movie releases, at least in the United States. And so I was thinking that it's still going to release on that Thursday or Friday, but a lot of times it's early access sort of things that at theaters on a Wednesday. And so the fact that they're advertising it drops on a Wednesday is interesting. But yeah, it's officially been moved up 2 days. Greg, what'd you think of the direct and trailer?
Yeah, a lot of the same thoughts, but I mean, I also can't really neglect that they really threw in a lot of stuff into the first movie as well too. So I mean, we had like the micro mushroom and stuff that like went through all the way through like um the new Super Mario Brothers games and other power-ups and stuff. You had like the Cat Mario and stuff in the first movie. So I mean, it kind of makes sense that there's pretty much throwing anything that's Mario related into even the sequels. So I mean, yeah, we don't really know a whole lot about the Galaxy Point or the theming of this time around, but it's pretty great to even see all the other elements making returns. Like there's stuff from Mario Brothers 2. There's even like Yoshi and stuff was in Galaxy 2 as well too. So I think it's really great to have how everything just kind of molding together and to make one cohesive piece that's kind of celebration of Mario. So I definitely appreciate all the different like references and Easter eggs and everything like that, and really excited to go see it. Hopefully opening day. So yeah, it was kind of interesting that they moved up the date and didn't really make note of that, even though like there's like a small thing in there. You had to pretty much know that was coming out on the third before, and then they pretty much just showed it like at the very end there. Like we just saw the thing where it's like April 1st now. So I know I'll
Yeah.
be watching when the tickets will be going on sale, and we'll be trying to get those pre-ordered and guarantee some seats to go see it opening night. But yeah, I'm definitely really excited, and we watched it. I think it was a little bit after the fact. We didn't catch the live version immediately right away, but I did catch the entire thing after the fact, and it was definitely the best Nintendo Direct that was non-micro, despite being micro in size.
What I want
Yeah,
to know is the Super Scope at the end of the movie a reference of the 1993 Mario movie or Yoshi Safari from the Super Nintendo?
all of the above. There's so many ties into the things, and I think that's like one of the things that I'm so excited about this movie, but it also equally scares me a little bit, because I think I am so pumped the fact that like every time I see this thing, it's just like, oh, they got that. Oh, they got that. Oh, that's cool. That's also a tie to that, and that's a tie to that. But at the same time, I'm like, I hope it's not too much. And a lot of times, you know, when we see movies that do well the first time, I'm looking at you, Spider-Man. I'm looking at you, other movies that do well, and all of a sudden they pack way too much in a sequel, and it gets to be just overloaded. And so I love it all, but I hope it's not too much of an overload. What you guys have talked about, like it is showing a whole lot of Odyssey, showing a whole lot of other games as well, and we're seeing very little Galaxy. So is it too much to call this Galaxy? Should have this have been just a Super Mario Brothers 2 movie and that's it? And just go wherever you want to. But you calling it Galaxy, we probably need to see a significant amount of Galaxy in this movie. If not, just call it Super Mario Brothers Movie 2.
Well, it depends on the runtime too. So
Right.
if this is an hour and 20 minutes, it's going to be a crammed hour and 20 minutes. If this is a 2 or 2.5 hour movie, I think it would be better
Sure.
because they're cramming so much in, and at least
Last
we
one
give
was
time
90
to
minutes
breathe.
though.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about what we saw, because there's so many exciting things in this movie. Of course, we see the very beginning. They're in Toast a Toast arena, I think is what it's called, from Odyssey. So the desert level there, that when you originally find it in the game, it's frozen, but it's not frozen in the movie. And so they go in there and I love the animation that we're seeing on the screen right now with the fire flower and them becoming like just burning off their other clothes and like the coming out, and this so good looking. This movie looks amazing, and just how they tie all these different things in. We see Yoshi popping out of the pipe, and I think it sounds good. We've heard more of Yoshi in these other little teaser trailers that we've gotten since then, and we hear more noises from him, and he sounds more like the Yoshi that we expect from the game as well. And then we get a ton of different things, especially like you said, Barry, from Super Mario Brothers 2. I mean, it seems like there's a whole entire area that they may be going to that is dedicated to Super Mario Brothers 2, which would be cool. I mean, we get Birdo, we get Mouser, we get Shy Guys, we get I think there's several other characters that are also in that scene. They're in like this casino like place, which plays off of the slot machine in the game as well, and so they're like fully jumping into to Super Mario Brothers 2, which I think is really cool. The one thing that I heard people talk about, it seems like Toad is not a big fan of Yoshi, and that actually may be a tie back to potentially the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. I think also had Toad and Yoshi or something like that had an issue, and then there was, I think, the Super Mario Brothers 3 show as well. Toad and him haven't had Yoshi had an issue or something like that, and eventually he was replaced.
Yoshi was only in the Mario World
Okay, maybe that
cartoon.
was no, not in the games. I meant the show.
No, in the show, Yoshi was only in the Mario World cartoon.
Okay.
He didn't exist when the Super Show
There's
or Mario
some
3 came
beef
out.
that they were talking about, and I think it's a very, very loose connection, but it was just interesting. They're like, oh, okay, this there's some history of why maybe Toad and him might not get along.
Well, it might have to do with the last scene because Baby Mario and Luigi are there, and is that Yoshi's Island?
Also true.
You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah. Baby Mario and Luigi, which I'm assuming they don't go into this whole backstory thing. I'm guessing, my guess is they get turned into babies, maybe by Bowser Jr. or something like that. But yeah, because if they also have to go into that whole backstory as well, this movie is going to be 5 hours long. Either that or they hit on it for like 2 seconds and move on. And we're like, whiplash. So,
Yeah, it turns into one
same
of
with
those
the
Family Guy
dinosaur from
cutscenes. Like,
Odyssey.
oh, remember when we did this as babies? And it's like a little
right.
cutscene, and see Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, and then like 2 seconds later, boom, they're already off the screen.
Right.
It's like, what just happened?
Yeah. Yeah. Greg, anything that you caught in the trailer that you're like, oh, that's so cool to see that?
I mean, even just like seeing like the brief reference to like the frog suit, like that was like
Yeah.
really interesting to see like a random like Mario Brothers 3 reference in there. So I know like the at least the frog suit is always kind of deemed as more trolly, especially in Super Mario Maker, but like just kind of just seeing like it there for in the movie is just kind of like I don't know if it's just like a side gag or something, or how they kind of just played off the micro mushroom in the first movie even, but yeah, it's just I really love all these little small references, and it almost kind of stinks the way that we're seeing a lot of the Easter eggs like this, like up front in the trailer, and then like the first movie was just like loaded with like them too. So I don't know. Sometimes it ruins that kind of surprise element to actually like find them like when you're watching it in the theater too.
Yeah. So April 1st, no joke. It's actually coming out on April 1st. So I'm sure we will be talking about it a lot on the podcast episode right after that. I think there's no doubt that all of us will probably be seeing it the day it comes out, and maybe multiple times. We'll see.
Well, I'll probably see it Thursday or Friday of that week.
Okay, yeah, close enough. You'll be seeing it when it comes out for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is so much fun, and I'm glad they're doing well. It seems like with these movies, the first movie was really well done, aside from some music things that we've talked about before, but it seems like this one is shaping up to be done well. And also Chris from Illumination did talk about how they are now, like, animation is fully done. They are completely working on the sound design right now in post-production. So hopefully then they will be doing that well. They've got a full orchestra again. So even hearing some of that music, like the underworld theme from Super Mario Brothers 1, when they're in the, finding Yoshi and hearing it in the trailer, hearing that from an orchestra was so cool. It just
The
so
Mario
smooth.
World theme when that Yoshi's coming out of the pipe was
Yeah.
amazing. Just in that show.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. So I have high hopes for the music design in this.
And hopefully we don't have to come back and see where they just replace this awesome orchestrated 1-2 soundtrack with some random 90s song.
Right.
Oh
Right.
man, I'll always be bitter about that Donkey Kong music.
Yep. Let's say Jakester said that him and his sister are going to see it the Sunday after it releases. So yeah, let us know how excited you guys are about this movie, because I know we are very excited, and April 1st cannot come soon enough. Not because of all the dumb jokes that are going to happen all over the internet that day, but because of the Mario movie. So that'd be exciting. And then let's move on to the other big story that we're going to be talking about, and that's that we got which is almost like a little mini direct. It wasn't, but it could have been turned into a little mini direct. Nintendo decided to launch this informational overview trailer for the Virtual Boy accessory that's going to be coming to Nintendo Classics on February 17th. So it's going to be dropping really soon. I'm wondering when they're going to start shipping those plastic and cardboard Virtual Boys to us from the Nintendo store that we've already ordered. But in addition to seeing a little bit more, we got the launch titles for the I kind of want to call it system. It's kind of a system. It's kind of a service. Whatever is going to be dropping at launch, and we're going to be getting Galactic Pinball, 3D Tetris, Tellero Boxer, Virtual Boy Wario Land, the Mansion of Innsmouth. I don't know. Golf, Red Alarm, and we'll also have a rewind feature and change controls feature. So all that's going to be dropping when it launches on February 7th, which is a great launch lineup.
17th.
Or sorry, 17th, when it does launch. And then we also got information about games that are coming later in 2026, including Mario Clash, which is one of my favorites, Mario's Tennis, Jack Brothers, Space Invaders Virtual Collection, Virtual Bowling, Vertical Force, V Tetris, and then two games that were previously unreleased, like Zero Racers and D Hopper. are also coming to the Virtual Boy later sometime this year, in addition to an option that's going to be coming later this year to change the color, which seems really weird because part of changing the color requires you to take out the red thing that turns it red. So, like, okay, how are you going to change the color on the system? Take out the red glass that covers it up, whatever. So you can change it to white and green and whatever if you want to. So yeah, lots of cool games coming out. A couple surprises, I think, there as well. So Barry, what do you think about this launch lineup?
I think this video broke the internet in my neck of the woods. This, a lot of people don't realize how important this video was. It's like truthfully for preservation. I think the launch lineup is great. I'm kind of shocked Mario's Tennis and or Mario Clash is not part of it.
Right?
That was a shocker. Wario Land at launch I think is a shocker too. It's like throw, big one right away. Happy to see them bringing Japanese titles over because when you were a Virtual Boy fan in the 90s, you had a very limited library. So you imported and you played Japanese games because it was the only thing you could do. Uh, some interesting picks with them too. Like Virtual Bowling is one of the rarest games. Like you're talking well over $1,000 to get it now.
Ooh.
But Nestor's Funky Bowling which was released in America using Nestor from Nintendo Power, is not listed. Why is that one not listed? That was even released in America. That's obviously translated maybe the following year. Space Invaders was another one only released in Japan. That's about 500, probably around $500-$600 now. But I think the lineup is great. But the big things are Zero Racers and D Hopper, or properly Dragon Hopper. So these games were changed, the names, from Dragon Hopper to D Hopper and from G0 to Zero Racers. And for those that don't know, the Virtual Boy was set to have a relaunch. Launched in 1995, died in 96. People know that. It was set to have a relaunch in 1996 with a big push, big marketing push, with Nintendo putting out multiple games, including Dragon Hopper, including Zero Racers, and including Bound High. Nintendo canceled, backpedaled, killed the Virtual Boy. This was never got that relaunch, which meant those games were completed or virtually completed and never released. And we're talking internally developed Nintendo games. Like Dragon Hopper was made by Intelligent Systems. They were teased, they were talked about in Nintendo Power, gone. Bound High was the only one of them that actually surfaced. Someone managed to buy a prototype and dump it, and you can now play Bound High. People have done reproduction cartridges, or you get a flash cart, you can play the game. It's complete. But to have these games that it was only speculation whether they still existed or not. We're talking 96. It's 2026. So you're talking 30 years ago at this point. To have them come back. This is an F-Zero game that no one's played. It's an F-Zero offshoot. This is an RPG style game for the Virtual Boy by Intelligence Systems that no one's played because it's never been released. So this is huge. What other previously unreleased games are we going to get? We don't know. Jack Brothers is the only American game that I also don't own. It's one that most people don't own because, again, it's over $1,000. And it's the first SMT game, or it's not the first, it's the second, I think. Revelations of Demon Slayer might have come first. So it's the second SMT game to hit America. And it's the one most people haven't played, and it's a very good game. So great that more people can play it. The only negative I have of this is still no talk about playing it without the accessory. And I feel that if we could watch this trailer and see it not 3D,
Right.
let us play it this way. Give us
Yeah.
the option to just play it this way, and if we want to.
Yeah.
Let us the accessory for 3D, absolutely sure.
Sure.
Not against it, but let us play it this way on 3D or on TV, even if we don't get that effect. And why no Virtual Boy controller classic? Like all the other ones do. And the Virtual Boy controller is so good. It's one of my favorite controllers that no one's ever played with. It's so good. So that I thought that was shocking. But
Yeah.
I'm very happy with this. I can't wait for this. I will be messing around with this for sure. So many good games and so many good memories.
Yeah. I'm actually I had not thought about the controller until you just mentioned it. But yeah, why not? I mean, maybe they will later, but it'd be great to have that controller to be able to
They
use it.
show it in the screen
Right.
right there on the screen right
Yeah.
now. You can see the Virtual Boy controller itself and the changing the button configurations. Now I
Yeah.
hope we could use at least the Pro controller because I don't want to use Joy Cons. Like I want to play at least with the Pro controller to mimic the. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to use the Pro controller,
Should be able to.
but
Yeah. I know if you're playing on
still,
the cardboard Virtual Boy, you have to use the Joy-Cons
you have
apparently.
to. Yeah,
Held to your head. but
which is dumb.
but yeah, it should be good. Greg, are you excited about Virtual Boy?
Surprisingly, yeah, because like I remember not really enjoying the experience in the Blockbuster when I had first experienced it way back in the 90s, but just kind of seeing some of the games like through the video, like it just seems like they're be really cool. And I know I posted our Discord that or at least to you, both of you, that I kind of discovered that it was listed for pre-order, and I don't know how I forgot about it. It was already there in December, but I did pre-order it more recently, so it's definitely a worthwhile investment, I think, in my eyes. But I was kind of really interested to see that color changing feature because I was going to say, hey, I could just make it white and gray and just like, hey, it looks like a regular Game Boy now, so it's not like it's back to or green and gray or whatever, however you want to say it. It'd be
Exactly.
kind of funny to use those colors instead as the red, because I think it was more of the like the red that was causing more people get headaches and stuff, just because it's not like the best color to be looking through to like see. But I thought I had heard something about that. I don't know if it was like someone's analysis on the Virtual Boy like years later or whatever,
Yeah. I
saying
don't know.
stuff
I
about the
think
color red. But
I thought they chose red because it was the softest on the eyes.
It was
But
also the best for the 3D effect.
yeah. But I know the
yeah,
3D effect gave people headaches. So maybe they'll ship a bottle of
Mm.
Tylenol with the plastic accessory they're sending out. I don't know.
Well, there are people that have taken Virtual Boys and made console versions of the Virtual Boy that you hook to the TV and you put the cartridge in, and it plays on the TV just fine. It just like if you have an emulator
Yeah,
and you're playing it on your PC, which you can do. I don't understand, and well, I guess I understand. They want to sell the $100 unit.
sure.
I can't see them not eventually releasing some kind of patch to let people play it on the TV because that's what people are going to want.
Yeah,
You're going to get the niche people, you're going to get people like us. They're excited. You get a journalist, you're going to get the people who say, "Oh, you know what? I want to relive it," or "You know what? I never got a chance to. I'll have fun with it."
yeah,
And then you're not going to get people the mass market to pay $100 for a thing or
right.
$30, but you will be able to get them to boot it up the application if they could just boot it up on their TV.
Absolutely.
So I can see them coming out with that after the fact.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like having them both. Like the 3DS, right, had
Hmm.
a slider. You could play with 3D or you could play it off or
Yeah.
somewhere in between. Give us the option. 3D mode in the headset or non
Hmm.
3D mode on the TV. Fine. And then you could put a little warning. Hey, if you're playing this on TV, you're not going to get the same effect as if you were playing it on the real system because you're not going to get that 3D. Fine. Okay. I push okay and keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the same way because like I think I would treat it very similar to the 3D on the 3DS, which is fun for like the first 30 minutes that I play a game, and then I turn it off and I don't see it again. And so when I play a new Virtual Boy game, I'll boot it up in the thing. Of course, I'm going to try it out. But after a while, I'll probably just play it on the TV. But I'll have it and it's cool and I like the accessory and
Yeah.
it's probably going to go on my shelf and it's fun to just have it because I never actually had a Virtual Boy. And so to have, like the new Virtual Boy is be cool to have. But yeah, I just want to play these games in handheld or on my TV. Like,
Well, one of the
yeah, but
things with the 3DS is I'm sorry, Greg, just quickly. It gave people headaches because it was glasses free. So your eyes were like doing
mm,
the crisscross to get the 3D effect. The Virtual Boy lens does it for you. So it is actually it's like while going to a movie and putting on 3D glasses,
hmm,
you don't get the same headache you did on the 3DS because the glasses are doing the work for you, not your eyes.
sure.
So, I could see that, but still, give us the option. Options are good, Nintendo. All right, Greg,
options
go
are always
ahead.
very good. But yeah, I was pretty much gonna kind of just talk about what you had just said, like with the glasses was 3D. It's like it kind of did give me a headache just using Ocarina of Time in 3D World and stuff like that that was on the 3DS, and it was great to be able to have that option to turn it off. So would definitely be very appreciated to be able to just play it on the TV or handheld mode or whatever with other virtual console games that we do have. And I do agree that would be something they could introduce further down the road because they obviously want to sell the $100 accessory or the $5 cardboard. So like Nintendo's very good at charging for the cardboard. We've heard with the Joy-Con kits and all the other stuff that did so well. So yeah, hopefully we do get the update that you can play down the road along with like the color changing scheme. So then you can. I mean, I always wonder if it's only like 2 colors that you're able to do, or are you actually able to make it like full Game Boy Color, and you can make it like 6 colors, and make it regular games.
No,
No,
But
it's
just
just changing the
two
tint,
colors.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's something I'm curious about. The Virtual Boy accessory does the 3D effect for you. What about the Switch games that have VR updates like Smash Brothers and Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey? Could you put your Switch in and boot up those games in the Virtual Boy, and therefore you could play with the Pro controller as opposed to holding it to your head and enjoy the VR features in a Virtual Boy? Obviously not the Labo stuff with all the accessories, but those games specifically, can you do that?
Should
Will
be able
that
to.
be interesting?
You should be able
That'll
to.
be exciting.
Because essentially, I mean, with them releasing the cardboard version of the Virtual Boy is essentially what the Labo thing was
Yeah.
anyway. It's just a different size, so you can fit your Switch 2 in there. And so it should be able to be popped in the Virtual Boy accessory, and you should be able to play it.
Which will give you a better experience than holding the cardboard
hmm
version.
Still wish I could strap it to my head instead of leaning forward, but hey, you know what? Beggars can be choosers, I guess.
You know, if you really wanted to, I'm sure you could buy something from Etsy or a strap or something. Or you get a
Oh,
bungee cord and just
I'm
bungee cord it
sure we
around.
will see videos of people strapping the Virtual Boy accessory to their head. I guarantee it.
Duct tape.
Okay.
Lots of duct tape.
Yeah.
see, it looks just like the MetaQuest now. Look at this. It's
That's right. That's right. See, Nintendo did jump in the VR games.
Well, they
Oh
did.
boy. So
There's
let's
that.
see. The chat, Sparky said they dropped the ball on this. There's not a headache edition. No, the whole thing is the headache edition. That's the thing. It's a bonus. And then and then Jakester is also complaining about, or not complaining, but just voicing his thoughts that it's not exciting unless you're going to be able to play in handheld or on the TV. Not excited about the accessory itself. So yeah, I think we're all on board with that. Wishing that I think it's so cool that they have the accessory. I wish it wasn't required, and maybe it won't be. Maybe it's one of those things that Nintendo said, like, yeah, it's required, but it's actually not. Like, for instance, they've said that the GameCube controller cannot be used in other games. It's a lie. You can totally use it in other games on the Switch and Switch 2. Like, or Switch 2, I think. I don't know if you can use it on the Switch. But yeah, like, so they've lied before about things not being able to be used in different ways. So there's a decent chance that it can be used like that already, but I really do hope that down the line, at the very least down the line, they release an update and allow you to play in just 2D on your screen.
What I think they're going to do is they're going to look at two factors. One, how many units they sell of both the $100 and the $30. Two, they're gonna monitor user usage of the application. And if they notice the sales, they're obviously going to spike at the start. I don't think they're going to go higher. I think they're going to go lower. You're going to get the initial sales, and then they're going to go lower. And then look at the application. Obviously, February 17th, you're going to see a spike, and maybe the 18th and 19th, and it will slowly go down. And I think if the usage goes low enough and the sales aren't coming in, they're keeping adding on stuff to the application to get you to boot it back up. But I would hope they would say, hey, this barrier of entry is probably doing it. What if we do this update? Let's see. And I'm not saying it's going to shoot up again, but it's certainly going to go higher, and it's going to be a steady usage now as opposed to just a curiosity usage.
Sure. Yeah. Greg, any final thoughts before we move on to our last topic?
Not really. I pretty much agree with like how Barry's perception of it just seems to line up with what I was kind of thinking. Like if it's obviously going to start off very high, as everything does, and basically anything that you want to say that's anything game related, you're always going to see the highest spikes right at the launch, and then it just depends on how fast and how long it stays in the decline phase, and that's where we might get the mode, especially with all these other games that are planned to be added to the service over the time. So who knows how fast they'll be added in, or if it's just the ones that are only coming this year, or if it'll be like one a month, or maybe it'll be 1 month that has like 2 or 3 of them. But I guess it's really going to be all as time will tell once this thing is available for everyone to get their hands on.
I want to know how many people are going to boot it up for the first time on their TV to see what happens, because that's what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think about a lot of the people are going to be doing it, even those that
At
don't
least
buy
check
the
it out.
accessory. Like, I'm not going to buy $30 worth of cardboard. I want to try to open this right now.
Yeah. Well, and you could probably, I'm guessing, because there's no sensor like in there's not a smart device where you can like tell if it's inside the plastic case or the cardboard case anyway. I'm very similar. I'm guessing it's going to use the light sensor in some ways to like be able to test that, but that's going to be really easy to just cover it with some tape and simulate being inside the thing. So I'm sure you can play it,
Well,
just
it
whether it'll
depends.
have two different side by side
Yeah,
screens or not is the question. So
yeah,
technically, you could play it handheld if you can, fake it by being inside a box, but you're just going to have to deal with two side by side,
that's
games at the same time.
that's the thing that's going to be. It's most likely going to display two side by side and no way to change it, so you
Yeah.
have to do it in the
Yeah.
accessory, which sucks. Just
Yeah.
let us have
Just
the
cross your
Remake.
eyes. No.
Just
I mean, along those notes, the Joy-Cons have the accelerometers in there, so I think they would be able to detect if they're still attached to your hands and you're just holding it, trying to play in handheld mode, versus like actually playing it in more of the tabletop mode where they're disconnected from system. So I would think it would be able to tell placement, at least in that regard. I don't know how well it's going to go open the app or whatever if there's other sensors in place, but
Yeah.
I'll say this: if they force you to use the Joy-Cons for the game, even with the accessory instead of using a Pro controller, I'm like, what the hell, Nintendo? That's the dumbest thing ever.
They've done it
Like, let us.
before.
I know,
Mario
let us
Party.
use a controller.
Oh,
Well,
oh,
Mario Party, Super Mario Party specifically,
yeah.
because the mini games all used motion.
Sure.
This doesn't use any motion.
Right. Right. At least you could somewhat make sense of that. Yeah.
This actually uses two D-pads. You
Right.
know what's not on any controller? Two D-pads.
That is true. That's why we need this. I need that controller to come out.
I need
And
it.
they're gonna get more money out of me. Dang it.
Yeah,
Package it
but
in
it's so
there.
worth it.
Maybe that's gonna be the thing. Maybe that'd be instead of Tylenol, maybe in addition to Tylenol, we'll actually have a hidden controller that's in that box with it. That'd be great.
I'm
It's not gonna
surprised they
happen.
don't give you a controller.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
And you know what? They could have
I
even made it wireless, where USB to the Switch or
Oh,
whatever.
totally. Yeah.
I totally had that thought while we were discovering this. Like, maybe we'll just throw the controller in with the headset or whatever if you buy the $100 version. But there's there's no way they're
No
actually going to do
way.
that because they could easily charge $100 just for the controller by itself, as you can see
It's
with
very
the
true.
game with the GameCube controller and stuff being so expensive. It's not like
Yeah.
you get like two NES controllers for 50. Now you're actually paying one controller, and it's
Now,
a lot.
granted, like they could have and still made money off of it. Charge $100 and you get this plastic accessory that's really just a glorified like plastic lens and housing, and then throw in a controller. They could have done that for $99, but they're not going to. But they could have.
Even if they said give us another $40, like I would do it. But the problem is in order for them to do the Virtual Boy controller, they need to get the molds and they need to redo it. And they have all the specification because they made them. Is it worth their time to produce it?
Right.
Do they think it will sell?
Yeah.
And maybe they're gauging. Maybe if this $100 thing sells like crazy, they'll be like, there's an interest, let's go for it.
Yeah.
But
We'll see.
But then again, if someone says, "Well, I bought the controller and I got the cardboard, but I can't use them at the same time," maybe that's why they were trying to avoid confusion. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I knew what was going on in
It's gonna be
Nintendo.
weird, but it's so cool we're getting these games. Like one way or the other, we're gonna get these games pretty soon, and then that's gonna be fun. Especially these games that we've not gotten to play before. So finally, let's move into a quick discussion about some rumors that are happening. It's been a while since we've talked a lot of rumors, but if maybe you've noticed, we mentioned it a couple times throughout this episode that we've kind of gotten several drops recently. We've gotten the Mario Galaxy movie. That makes sense that it was a separate thing, but it was a separate thing, a small little direct that happened on Sunday. We're getting the Tomodachi Life direct that's happening this week. We got the Virtual Boy stuff that dropped in its own informational video that could have also been a little direct, but they decided to make it its own thing. We've gotten several of these
Mario
small little.
Tennis got like a 5-minute one.
There you go, Mario Tennis as well. So they're dropping a lot of
Mario
little
Wonder.
things. Exactly. So in the middle of all that, though, there's rumors because for I believe the last several years, we've gotten a February Nintendo Direct, if I remember correctly. And so there's rumors. They're like, oh, is it time? But that's kind of weird because Nintendo has been dropping a whole bunch of stuff. Wouldn't they have saved it? Or are they trying to get that out of the way because they've got some other big stuff? Like people are thinking maybe they're going to talk about a Switch 2 Lite, which would also be a very quick turnaround because last time I think the Switch Lite came out 2-3 years after the Switch launched. But this would only be a year later, potentially less than a year, depending on if they do announce it and when they release it. But there's a lot of different rumors going on. Barry, any thoughts? Is there any truth to this? Do you think it's actually going to happen?
I think a direct is happening for sure by February. We haven't had a direct since what, September? Usually they do one January, February. Maybe they'll do one April, May. Sometimes we'll get something in the summer, and then usually September for the rest of the year. We usually get anywhere from 2 to 4 directs a year, not counting like like a specific Tomodachi Life or the DK Bonanza direct stuff like that. Um, so I do think we're due. I think Nintendo already has a very packed like start of the year. Like January we had Animal Crossing, February you've got Mario Tennis, and you got Virtual Boy, and then March you've got Pokemon Pokepedia, and you've got Mario Wonder, and then of course April starts off with the movie, and you've also potentially have Tomodachi Life. We're gonna find out tomorrow when that comes out. But even if you look at all those games, Donkey Kong Country Returns just got the update, and you know all these games getting these updates. But if you look at those games, you'll notice something in common is that outside of the Animal Crossing free update and whenever Tomodachi Life comes out, it's all Switch 2 stuff. Nothing for Switch 1. You got Pokemon is Switch 2 only. Mario Wonder, all that stuff is for the Switch 2. Mario Tennis is Switch 2 only. So they need to do something for the Switch 1 gamer. Obviously, Tomodachi Life is there, and it wouldn't surprise me to see either a Switch 2 addition to Tomodachi Life or a free Switch 2 upgrade. Since obviously the game's coming out, why wouldn't you
Sure.
do something to enhance it with the Switch 2? It would be dumb not to. Um, so I think we're gonna see some stuff leading into April. I don't think outside of Tomodachi like potentially being before April. I think we're gonna see stuff for April, May, maybe even June from Nintendo as well as third parties. And there's been a ton of rumors going out and stuff and like people speculating. And I'm not going to get into that. What exactly we're going to see. Obviously, Life is Strange is a potential something we're going to see. But I do think that based on the way the Switch 2 has been selling overall, yes, it had a slower holiday season, but everything had a slower holiday season. We're seeing a lot of great ports. We're seeing that the ports are selling very well for the Switch too. I think we're going to see a lot more third-party support, and we're going to see a lot of games, and a lot of them will be games that came out a year or two ago on PlayStation or Xbox, finally making it to Nintendo's
Mm-hmm.
platform. But you know what? That's great. Like, let more people play these games. Yakuza 3 is coming out with Dark Ties. Maybe we'll see Yakuza 4, 5, 6, something like that announced as well. Um, these series are just being pushed, and we're seeing Capcom, we're seeing Square, we're even seeing EA now come out. MLB The Show was just announced. The new one was just announced yesterday or today. I think it was today. It
Yeah.
was just announced today. In the press release, they specifically talk about PS5, Xbox Series, and Switch One. Switch One. Hold on. Why isn't the show on Switch 2?
Yeah.
Why? Maybe Nintendo wanted to say, "Oh, let's announce that in the direct," even though the press release went out today, only specifically mentioning Switch One.
Yeah.
So that's another one we could potentially see. It's so weird. I don't know why Nintendo doesn't just let people press release games. I mean, we have a game coming out, Chroma Gun 2, coming out this month in February, Switch 2 only. But we're not doing it in the direct. We're just, hey, here it is, enjoy it. So I don't know, but I do think we're going to see. I would be very shocked if we end February without seeing a proper or at least a mini Nintendo Direct, not a game specific.
Yeah.
I'd be very shocked.
Yeah. Greg, what do you think?
Yeah, pretty much fully on board with what Barry was saying. We've traditionally gotten like a February direct, sometimes in January. I guess it just depends on how all the things have fallen down, and I know it varied year to year, but I, as he just said, I don't think we could really go a whole month of February without a formal direct, and pretty much you would have all the third-party announcements, or not all of them, but a good number of them probably also included in there. We'll probably would find out more about the upcoming Yoshi game and some other stuff that he probably didn't think of in his initial comment on it, but I find it really hard to believe that we wouldn't see a direct at all in February at all happening. So, I mean, is it next week? Could be, but could it be still closer to Valentine's Day or even after the fact? It probably could be as well, but it kind of seems like they're dropping some of these other announcements of things that we knew were coming and everything like that was kind of happening. I don't know. I believe, like, even the ones time with the June direct, like, they were doing, like, a number of the shadow drops, especially with, like, I think with Paper Mario and stuff had, like, that weird shadow drop trailer and announcement, and, like, well, this could have been a direct, and then I don't know if that was the same year that we got, like, a direct in June as well, but it kinda leads to the fact that they're kinda clearing up some of the loose ends of the things that are being released, and so that they wouldn't have to discuss it in a formal, like, longer video. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely kind of see something on the horizon for that. For the Switch 2 Lite, I don't know if it's also too early for that to appear, but I kinda would believe that it could be the case because I know the price point for the Switch 2 was kind of a huge major factor for a number of people, and especially with the Switch 1 increasing in price, which we've never really seen before. I mean, it could be something that they're trying to say, "Hey, if you wanna get your child a Switch 2, then here's a Switch 2 Lite that's doesn't have the dock and everything else that's included with that as well." So I guess that kind of makes sense, but it does feel like it would be kind of early to be releasing something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to note, 2018 was the only time they didn't release any sort of direct in February, I believe. And 2024, they had a partner showcase, and there's been some other times where they've had other versions of a direct, but 2018 is the only time not in February at all. So
Which
chances are,
ironically was a year after the Switch launched, and we're right now in the year after the Switch 2 launched.
maybe. So we'll see. But yeah, I am all for. I mentioned this the other day in our Discord as well. I am all for a Switch 2 Lite. I got the original Switch Lite mostly because I thought I'd be able to swap back and forth, and it was fun to have. I got the Pokemon version. It's just a cool collectible now, but it basically just sits there. But for that one thing that I've noticed, I love the Switch 2. There's so many things I like about it, but it is a much harder system to travel with because of the size. And so I would love to have a Switch 2 Lite that can play all those games. I can load on there. I could easily swap between the two. That they need to fix that between. Hopefully, it would act the same way that you can now between a Switch 1 and a Switch 2, or maybe even better. But to be able to pop a Switch 2 Lite that's a smaller system all in one, toss it in my bag, similar to how I used to do with my Switch 1, that would be fantastic. For those of people who are traveling a lot, that would be great to save some room in my backpack. But I also know a lower price point for especially families that have multiple, they want to have multiple Switches in the house. Sometimes it's nice to have a Switch Lite to be able to do that. So a Switch 2 Lite would be also very helpful as well. Or maybe you just know you're going to be playing on handheld more than on your TV, and you're okay with that. So I think it's inevitable that they do it. But I just caught myself the other day thinking, you know what? I could get really excited about having a Switch 2 Lite. But I honestly don't think it's going to happen in 2026. That would be a very quick turnaround. But who knows? I mean, there's lots of rumors popping around, so maybe they're going to make it the case. You guys are chatting quite a bit in the the chat room. What am I missing there? You guys are talking about
Most about the
we're just
Power Glove
talking
and
about the Power Glove.
Power Glove. Awesome. They do need to make that return as well. The Power
But
Glove. It's
Nintendo
so
didn't
Switch
make
bad.
to
the Power Glove.
Switch to
Mattel did.
accessory.
That's right. That would be fantastic if they brought back
But
that,
I
or the Power Pad as well. Yeah.
well, the Power Pad. I mean, we got the ring, right? Ring Fit ring. We got I think it's too early for a Switch 2 Lite personally.
Yeah.
And we had a little discussion about this in Discord, but I think Nintendo has this really cool ability to allow you to talk between a Switch and a Switch 2 that you own. I have them both. I use them both daily. Being able to communicate, being able to send a game key, card to, a digital game to one system to the other, super easy. Saves, super easy to transfer. It's awesome. But they don't allow you to communicate with a second system of the same type and have you having both. So if you want to switch to and you want to switch to like Switch 2 Lite comes out and you want to switch to Lite for travel, you can't really do it. It becomes like a secondary system, but you can't connect it the same way. You can't like register it. You're only allowed to register one home system per account. And that's dumb. Like even if you have one system and you and your wife have an account and then your wife gets a Switch too and she wants her account on there, she has to then move it as her home system. You can't have both.
Mhm.
I feel like that's archaic when you're dealing with portable systems like
Yeah.
this. I think at the very least you should be allowed two Switches and two Switch 2s, and you can call them A, B, whatever, and move around because of things like travel. And the idea with the Switch is that it can move, and especially Switch Lite, like that is designed to travel. It can't connect. So I feel like for like your purposes, you wouldn't really use the Switch 2 Lite because you would take it with you and use it, but it would be a pain in the butt to try and bring things back and reconnect. And when you got home and you wanted to dock, you couldn't do that. It would
That's
be
why I
more
don't
hassle
use
than
my
I think it's
Switch
worth.
Lite hardly
Yeah,
at all.
it'd be so
Yeah.
you wouldn't use your Switch 2 Lite.
Yep.
It would be the same hassle. For whatever reason, Nintendo is so backwards when it comes to that specific thing. They're great about everything else. Having 8 accounts on your family plan, fantastic. Being able to gift the virtual game key cards or game cards to people on your account, awesome. Outside of having to be right next to each other, it'd be really cool if you could do it online. But like I don't know what they're scared of. Like if I have two Switch 2s, what are you scared I'm gonna do with the second one? Like
Right. Yeah.
it's so
Especially
weird.
now that they've figured out how to do this between a Switch 1 and a Switch 2.
Yeah, because they work perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if you go to like your Nintendo, like the webpage, Nintendo.com, and you sign in and you want to redeem a code or even buy a game,
Mm-hmm.
it says where do you want it to go? And you can choose, have your
It's
Switch
great.
and your Switch 2. You can pick. Fantastic. But that's it. You can't pick a second Switch or a
Yep.
second Switch 2. It's just those two and that's
Yep.
it.
Your primary
And
system.
I'm kind of surprised they allowed that. I kind of expected them to say the Switch 2 replaces the Switch 1,
Same.
which would have really pissed me off. But thankfully they don't. But that's all you get is one of each, which is
Yep.
so dumb.
Yep. Yep.
At least make the Switch Lite count separately. So one Switch OLED, one Switch Lite,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. If you
they'll
get
probably
different
get more
ones.
sales out of it too.
Yeah. It's true. Oh. Well, we'll see. See how timelines out, but let's move on. because those are rumors right now. We have no idea what's actually going to happen. We try to predict things, and then some of us do well, and some of us do horrible. Shout out to next January when you get to hear how horrible I did with my predictions. But let's move into our final section as we close up this episode and talk about what games are going to be coming out over the next couple weeks before our next podcast episode. And that next episode will be recorded live on February 10th, 2026. But until then, we don't have a ton of games that are actually coming out over the next couple weeks that are very notable. We do have Dragon Quest VII Reimagined that we talked about earlier. It'll be dropping on February 5th. And then PGA Tour 2K25 is dropping on February 6th. You know, most sports games, they drop like 6 months before the next year. Apparently, we're getting PGA Tour 2 months into the next year for the 25 version. But, you know, whatever. At least we're getting it. And then just a couple days after our next podcast, although we're getting several games like Mario Tennis Fever, Yakuza Kiwami 3, and Dark Ties. And also, is it Blaz Blue or Blaze Blue? I always thought it was Blaze Blue, but I know it's spelled Blaz.
I think it's Blaze Blue.
I think it is too. But Blaze Blue, Entropy Effect X, and also Reanimal is all those games will be dropping just a couple days after our next episode, and several games after that as well, on into February. But yeah, just throw those out there because they are just a couple days after our next episode. Barry, what are you hoping to play over the next couple weeks? Any of these or others on your list?
Well, fun fact, BlazBlue first off is excellent, and we actually did the physical that's coming out for it, and I did the ESRB for that game. So
Oh,
so it's I'm happy it's finally coming out and people
nice.
can
So you
enjoy it.
spent
But
some significant time with that game.
I spent some time. It's not a fighter like all the other BlazBlue games. It's a like a more of an action 2D platformer Metroidvania style,
Oh,
with the
okay.
characters. So bosses and crazy stuff. But yeah, I'm excited for people to get their hands on that. But that's always cool to see something like that. It's like, oh, I worked on that in the behind the scenes.
That's cool.
The Prisoning is coming out February 10th. I see that. That's done by a good friend of mine who did a game called Cathedral. I think it was
Oh,
Cathedral. He did. No, he wasn't the developer of Cathedral. It was the publisher. It's Elden Pixels. But I worked with them back when I was with Premium Edition. So great guy. So give some love to that.
nice.
But for me, it's all Trails Beyond the Horizon and then Dragon Quest VII, which I did the demo. I'm done. I'm ready to go with the game. Game looks beautiful. I'm hoping I can get through it this time. I tried it on the PlayStation, got bored. Tried it on the 3DS, got bored. It's a very, very long game. It's a really cool concept. It's just a very long game originally, and apparently they truncated it. They cut out a lot of the filler. They made the pacing better. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this one. And then after that, depending on when I finish, Mario Tennis is the next big one that I am looking forward to. But we'll see how much time I get in between games and how long it
Sure.
takes me to finish them. Thanks to
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Yeah. One small correction. I said that Reanimal is coming out on February 12th. It's actually February 13th. So those of you that maybe got excited, it's one day further. So, Greg, what are you going to be playing over the next couple weeks?
Well, I still have to definitely dive into the Plants vs. Zombies game for our game chat. I fortunately didn't get a lot of time over the last 2 weeks for that, so I really need to get that done so we can get that video recorded and get that posted. And then finally hoping to really jump into some of those backlog games I've just been putting off since the end of last year. Still haven't dove into Metroid Prime 4 and still haven't even dove into some of the other games like the Kirby Air Riders and even Hyrule Warriors. So I have all these games just waiting on the backlog to jump into, and but now Steve's got me under pressure to do the Somnium Files. So he's making me look bad there. He's
Yes.
just jumping the gun there and throwing me under the
Oh,
bus with
it's
that. So
so good, Greg. It's so good. Look. It's one thing if I say it's good, but when Steve is like, I'm enjoying it, it makes sense. Then there's something there because
well,
Steve is
I'm
more
I'm not
particular
trying to
than I
say
am.
it's not good. I think it's just making me look bad that he's like, "Hey, I get to play this game," and then it's like, well, now it's just I'm the sole one out that didn't. have time for it.
For those that don't remember, this is a game I bought both of these
Yeah,
jokers,
yeah.
and they told them they had
Back
to
in
finish it, and
March
they
of
all promised both of them.
2025.
Yeah, almost a year ago. They promised me, "Oh, we'll finish it. We'll finish it." You know.
Oh man. Speaking of that game, I'll probably hoping to finish up Somnium Files before our next one, so I can at least once to be able to see what this ending is all about. I need to get back. I was planning on getting back to Dynasty Warriors Ultimate or Origins, but then I started playing Somnium Files instead. So that took over instead. But I will play that and Hyrule Warriors as well. I do hope I get some time with that because I've not really touched it at all. It's still in the case. I think I've taken the plastic off, but that's about as far as I've gotten. So yeah, hoping to play that and then just playing through some other games. Continue through Plants vs Zombies so I can experience the other parts of the game, eventually beating it so I can experience those other parts. But that's probably what's gonna be happening in my world. I'll be starting to travel after our next podcast. I'm starting to hit the road and flying again and everything, so I'll be trying to fit in some games here and there on flights and in between meetings and all that stuff that I do on the road. So yeah, if they do launch a Switch 2 Lite, it'd be nice to drop it really soon. Nintendo, you're not going to, but it'd be nice to drop it soon because I'm on the
You
road
won't
soon.
use it.
If they made it really nice and easy to switch over, like it is from Switch 1 to Switch 2, I guarantee I would use it a lot more on the road. But again, if it's like the same one with Switch 1 and Lite, it's not worth it. So, but if they do allow you to switch back and forth, there you go, Nintendo Switch back and
I
forth.
would
Then
I
I
would
would
love
definitely use it.
that. Love that.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode. Again, we're going to be back live on February 10th with our next episode. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast app to the audio version, but also you can subscribe here on YouTube to the video version. We stream this live every other Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. I'd love for you guys to join the chat like so many people have done tonight and jumped in the conversation. And be sure to also follow us or join our Discord and follow us on social media. But also, if you have ideas for our Patreon, be sure to email us those at podcast@nintendofuse.com. We'd love to hear your thoughts as we to continue to put together that Patreon for the future. And yeah, we have a lot of other videos, game chats and gameplay videos and industry interviews and so much more on our YouTube. So make sure you check that out as well. And Barry, any closing thoughts before we wrap this one up?
Just all I say is if you're dealing with this weather, stay warm. Uh, stay warm, stay healthy, enjoy your games. There's a lot coming out, and again, I'll do another plug. Chromagun 2 is coming out next month. BlazBlue Entry Effect X coming out next month, and boy, I can just tell you this: we had a production meeting today, and we have so much coming out from PM, so much this year. It is going to be a very busy year. There's a lot of great killer games coming out. Some that I'm very, very excited about. In fact, one that we're doing the physical of that was just internally talked about today that I got off the couch and I jumped up and I like the fist in the air screamed like, verbally, yeah, I was so excited. And I can't wait to share that with everybody. There's actually a couple games this year that really did that. So it's going to be a banner year, every year better than the next. So stay tuned and definitely got some great stuff on the way. And I just hope I have the time. There's so many games. I was thinking about this. There's so many. I was talking with Jakester, I think, in the Discord, how I love doing marathons. Like for those listening to the podcast for years, I used to do marathons. I did like Devil May Cry, I did the Uncharted games, where I would just sit there and I would just play through every game in the series because I had breaks in between games I wanted to play, and I was able to do that. And now I feel like every month there's at least 2 to 3 games that I'm very excited about. Like March has a Monster Hunter Stories 3 coming out. Like I'm excited for that one. I love the first two. Like there's just non-stop games coming out that I want to play, and I have like a week or so in between these things that I have. Like Octopath Traveler 0, I still have yet to play. That came out the same day as
Yep.
Metroid Prime 4. I bought it. I bought it on launch day. I got the collectors and everything. I still have yet to play that game, and I want to because I've heard it's like 100 hours. I'm like, I don't have time to do that right now because there's so much going on, and I need breaks in between some of these RPGs, and I'm not getting that break because I'm going RPG to RPG. But I miss kind of having that little bit of a breather where I can go back into the backlog and work on some of those stuff and play on a Virtual Boy, sitting there and play it almost guilt free without being like, well, I'm playing this, but I really should be playing Fantasy Life. I started. It's been in the back of my mind. I want to get back to it. I've been trying to finish Trails so that I can play a little Fantasy Life before I get to Dragon Quest. I'm not gonna have time to do that. And I had so much fun with Fantasy Life, and it's like, oh my god, it's too much in a good way. This is the total first world problem. I love it. Keep gaming, everybody. Just keep having fun, and hopefully you don't spend time with a bad game. Just move on. There's plenty of games out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Greg, any closing thoughts?
Not really, just echoing the stay warm and stay healthy, and hopefully avoid anything that's going on with all the major political garbage we have to deal with. So stay safe and
Yep. Go play a video game.
have fun with games. Yep. Or you can even play this fun game too. So that game's always fun.
Oh, magic.
I got the
Nice.
Good old
Fat
magic.
Chocobo.
Nice.
Nice.
Final
Cool.
Fantasy. Was collecting
Well,
those Final Fantasy cards.
I think only 3 or 4 cards away from the full main set of that.
wow. Wow. Well, shout out again to everybody that joined us in the live chat. There's several of you guys this time, so love interacting with you guys. Keep doing that as well, and join us over in our Discord to keep the conversation going. We'll see you guys again. We're next episode is going to be February 10th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming on YouTube and Twitch. But until then, happy gaming, everybody.
Have a good one.
See you next time.